This is the king of the kingdom, Matt Taven, and don't be a Melvin and get into the wrestling epicenter.
You're listening to Interactive Wrestling Radio, featuring the interactive interview, courtesy of WrestlingEpicenter.com.
All right, good afternoon from sunny Southern California, where it's a brisk 50 degrees. Thanks for taking part in today's Ring of Honor 17th Anniversary Media Call. 17th Anniversary airs live from Las Vegas this Friday, March 15th at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, through traditional pay-per-view providers, free for Honor Club VIP, and at a 50% discount for Honor Club standard members. Honor Club content can be streamed via ROH and Fight TV apps and at ROHHonorClub.com. All roads lead to G1 Supercard, co-promoted by Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling, at sold-out Madison Square Garden on Saturday, April 6th. And the results at this Friday's 17th anniversary event undoubtedly will have an impact on the historic show. In addition to ROH World Championship match, 17th anniversary will feature 3 other championship bouts. The Women of Honor World Championship will be defended when Stardom's Mayu Iwatani takes on former champion Kelly Klein. ROH World Television Champion Jeff Cobb defends against Shane Taylor. And the 10-time ROH World Tag Team Champions, the Briscoes, take on PCO and Brody King of Villain Enterprises in a no DQ match. And about featuring the top lucha talent in the world today, Roosh goes one-on-one with Bandito. The Villain Marty Scurll takes on Las Vegas resident Kenny King. The Kingdom battles Lifeblood, and in a clash of styles, Silas Young faces Jonathan Gresham. Today we have scheduled 20 minutes each for our guest, ROH World Champion Jay Lethal, and his opponent at this Friday's 17th anniversary event, the self-professed real world champion, Matt Taven. Once I state your name and publication, I kindly ask that you keep it to 1 question per guest in order to keep things running smoothly and to give everyone a chance to participate. And again, please keep your phone on mute when you are not asking a question. With all that said, I'd like to introduce our first guest. He is a co-holder of the ROH World 6-Man Tag Team Championship, who will defend the title alongside the Kingdom at this Saturday's international TV taping against Villain Enterprises, and the man who will face Jay Lethal this Friday for the ROH World Championship, Matt Taven. Good afternoon, Matt.
Mark, it's the man who will defend the ROH World title against Jay Lethal Friday in Las Vegas, Matt Taven.
I stand corrected. I am so sorry.
You know, every time we do this, I have to tell you how it really is. And I mean, there's such fantastic names of these organizations, such witty names of these podcasts and whatever interview sources that you guys have come up with. I'm thrilled to answer questions today. Just ecstatic.
I could tell. So with that, let us begin. First one, Alex Jimenez from Solo Wrestling. Go ahead, Alex.
Hello, Matt. Can you hear me well?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Okay. After all this year being in Ring of Honor and hearing people telling you that you weren't main event material, how do you feel going into this Friday's big main event with Jay Lethal having this opportunity to become Ring of Honor World Champion after all these critics?
I don't remember a single person telling me I wasn't main event material. Maybe a Melvin like yourself might think that, but they've never had the guts to say that to my face. Or, you know, maybe they should watch the product every once in a while, because for the last year, there's no one that holds a candle to Matt Taven. For the last 9 months, I've been the Ring of Honor World Champion. So going into this Friday is just another day of employment for Matt Taven, just punching the clock. And, you know, hopefully people like you who I'm assuming have never stepped foot in a ring ever in your entire life can finally maybe realize the greatness that is Matt Taven. But that's honestly on you, because I already know how great I am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Alexandra from Slam Wrestling. Go ahead, Alexandra.
Yeah, so I want to know that ever since Jay Lethal regained his Ring of Honor World title, you still claim that it should be yours because there's a little complication with the ref. Does that fuel your fire for your upcoming match?
I mean, there's no doubt about it. 9 months ago, if you go back and watch the match where Jay Lethal supposedly regains the Ring of Honor World title, I beat Dalton Castle, who was the world champion at the time. I pinned him right in the middle of the ring for an 8 count, which is why for the last 9 months, Matt Taven has been the real Ring of Honor world champion. So going into this match with Jay Lethal, you know, I guess it's a form of motivation, but honestly, for me, this is just another step in my Purple Rain tour. I mean, I defeated the former champ in his championship rematch at Final Battle. Now these Melvins want to say that Jay Lethal's the champ. Well, I'm going to beat him too this Friday in Vegas and just continue my epic title reign.
All right, thank you. Anthony Suter from Smart to Death. Go ahead, Anthony.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Yep,
Sorry, what was the name of your publication?
Smark to Death.
Oh, that's a fantastic one.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Matt. If you do win this Friday against Jay Lethal, what will happen to the real Ring of Honor title?
I mean, it'll be upgraded. The title that was the most prestigious title in the history of Ring of Honor was destroyed by that poser Jay Lethal, obviously because he was overwhelmed with jealousy. It was a better looking title in the first place. It meant more. It had more prestige to it, like I said, and it actually was held by the real Ring of Honor world champion. So, after Friday, I'll be able to get rid of that disgusting belt that Ring of Honor's been carrying around for a while now and upgrade it to something that fits a king.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anton Jackson from Vulture Hound. Go ahead, Anton.
Good afternoon, Mr. Taven.
Hello, how are you?
Doing all right. All right. These Ring of Honor anniversary shows, they tend to showcase not only, the legacy of Ring of Honor, but they tend to showcase the legacy of certain wrestlers. How do you look at your legacy in promotion on the eve of this World Championship match on one of the shows, landmark shows?
Well, I think you go back to my very first night under contract with Ring of Honor and my very first anniversary, the 11th anniversary, where I defeated Adam Cole for the Ring of Honor television title. And, in the years since, I've done nothing but add more and more and more to my resume, whether it's been in New Japan or CMLL, and obviously here in Ring of Honor. And this 17th anniversary, 6 years deep into my Ring of Honor career, is going to be the time where, I already know I'm the Ring of Honor world champion. But now, if I need to go through Jay Lethal to make it official to the dorks in the office or to the guys with, fantastic media names like Smart to Death, if I have to prove that to those type of people, well, then I will make sure that everyone sits down, gets their popcorn ready for Friday night, Vegas. I love Vegas. And I love the anniversary show. I've always done very well at it. And I will make sure that my dominance of this company for the last 6 years comes to the pinnacle and finally gets to the point where, the doubters or the critics have nothing to do but eat crow and shut up.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Chris Featherstone, Pancakes and Power Slams. Go ahead, Chris.
Matt Taven, how you doing today?
I'm great. Have you had your pancakes? Did you do your power slams this morning?
No, I have not this morning, but I will this evening. I appreciate you asking, man. It's very kind of you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
So my question is, so you talked about how you debuted on the 11th anniversary, and you've created such a very unique path on your way to being the real Ring of Honor champion. Now, as far as creating a legacy for Matt Taven in Ring of Honor, what are some things that you have kind of foreshadowed to achieve in order to to accomplish the legacy of the CM Punks and the Bryan Danielses and the Nigel McGuinnesses and your opponent, Jay Lethal, coming up this weekend?
Well, I think from day one in Ring of Honor, the goal was to always be in this position to, have your name on the marquee, to have your name in the main event. And, when you step into Ring of Honor, that's not just something that's usually just given to you. And I've really had to carve my path by winning the Top Prospect tournament, becoming a television champion. There was minor setbacks with injuries and different things that have happened. But every situation that I've been put in, whether it's, me and Mike Bennett winning the tag titles, not only just here, but in New Japan, then coming back from an injury, going to Mexico, going to CMLL, being the first foreigner to win the NWA middleweight or welterweight championship there, being the first foreigner to main event the anniversary show this past year. I mean, these are all things that I've done time after time after time to show everyone that Matt Taven is exactly who he says he is. He's the very best that Ring of Honor has to offer. And for a while, I felt like there was a conspiracy against me, that Ring of Honor was holding me back. And, sometimes when you feel like you're not getting the support that you deserve or that you should have by whether it be people with fantastic media names, again, like Pancakes and Power Slams or The Office or Melvin's in the crowd that, are wearing a terrible black T-shirt, you have to kind of, do what you have to do to make sure people know that you're 110% serious about everything you said. And then, beating the former world champion in the middle of the ring, only to have someone else claim to be the champion, didn't sit well with me. And I had to make a statement for the last 9 months, and everything has been leading to this moment here in Vegas. So you better believe that the last year plus of work isn't going to come to an end in Vegas with Jay Lethal thinking that he's walking out of the place with that piece of tin. Oh, no. I'm going to make sure that this is the climax of Matt Taven's story for the last year.
I appreciate that, and I'm not a Pats fan, but I know what you are, so congrats on the Super Bowl win.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it happens so often. You're going to have to continue to say it to me more and more and more.
Sounds good, man. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Next up is Evan from Under the Mat Radio. Go ahead, Evan.
How you doing, Mr. Taven? How are you today?
Good. How's being under the mat?
It's better now. I'm not actually under. I'm actually over now talking to you, so it's all good. I want to ask you, Mr. Taven, with all your accomplishments, everyone's been mentioning about your world title match against Jay Lethal, but you being currently the 6-man tag champion in Ring of Honor, you being on the list of the Junkyard Dogs, the Ricky Mortons, the Tommy Riches, the Freebirds, and now you have the chance to become ROH champion and with holding belts from CMLL, NWA, New Japan. What if you happen to win the world title this Friday against Jay Lethal, held the belt for a record amount of times and record length, what will be next on your goals? What will be your next thing that you want to do or accomplish if you become the World Heavyweight Champion and currently still just the World 6-Man Championship champion in ROH?
Well, I take great pride in being the first ever team to hold the Ring of Honor 6-man titles and being the only team to hold it 3 times and also holding it the longest out of any 6-man in history, because that my crew of Vinny and TK is the greatest trio in professional wrestling, and we take great pride in saying that and being that. With that being said, you spoke about Jay Lethal holding the title for the longest reign in history, which I don't believe is true. Again, for the last 9 months, I think Jay Lethal's title reign has been an absolute fraud. And if you were to ask me, Samoa Joe still owns the title of longest title reign in history. And so once I officially become on the record books in these Melvin's eyes as the world champion, that's my goal, is to set the record for the longest title reign in history, just like I did when I won the television title, and I set the record for that as well. If you look back at the history of Matt Taven, he continuously does things like this, achieves goals that no one else has achieved, and lives up to everything that he says. So mark my words, once I beat Jay Lethal, the history books where it says Samoa Joe longest reign, he's going to have to find himself a nice comfy spot in second place behind Matt Taven.
Thank you for that, Mr. Taven. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks, Evan. Next up is James Walsh. Go ahead, James.
All right, let's see how you like my name. My name is James Walsh from the Wrestling Epicenter. Is that an okay name?
That's better than Pancakes and Powers, or no, Smart to Death might be the worst one.
I think I might have to create a Facebook group for Melvin's in the Crowd. That was awesome. I like that name. That's awesome. Okay.
That's a good podcast name.
That's a good podcast name. Very good. All right. So my question is not about the 17th anniversary show, but maybe looking a little bit past it, which I feel some people might be doing past the 17th anniversary show as we head into the G1 Supercard at Madison Square Garden. Should you unify the titles? I'll call it a unification match at the 17th anniversary. How cool would it be to walk into Madison Square Garden as the official Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion?
I mean, it's something that I would be lying if I said, the thought of Madison Square Garden isn't in the back of my mind. But at the same time, as much as I say that Jay Lethal is a fraud, and I do think that his championship reign is that, I take nothing away from Jay Lethal, the wrestler in the ring. And to look past this Friday in Vegas, looking forward to Madison Square Garden, even to think about, once I beat Jay, I'm going to walk into Madison Square Garden as the Ring of Honor World Champion. As great as a thought that is, I really can't put the cart in front of the horse and really get my mind to that moment because, Vegas is 3 days away. And if I start thinking past Vegas and I start going and thinking of what's happening next, Jay Lethal might sneak up on me in a way that I would be letting myself down after everything I've said for the past year. So Madison Square Garden is definitely around the corner. It's definitely an event that everyone has marked on their calendar. But right now I'm focused on Vegas. And, I'm positive that I will beat Jay Lethal in Vegas. So walking into Madison Square Garden as the champion, well, that's just going to be, a cause and effect of what happens Friday.
Awesome. Can't wait to see it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, James. Next, Jason Frazier from ESPN Radio in St. Louis. Go ahead, Jason.
Hey, Matt. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Not doing too bad. My question goes, I know you are trying to achieve singles glory this week, but also looking at your credit with the Kingdom. So many factions have come and gone in Ring of Honor history. The Kingdom now seems like they're the longest running. How difficult is it to kind of keep a faction like that going year in and year out?
Well, I think, the fact that the Kingdom has been able to stick together for 3 years plus now, while you see other groups break up or people leave, or, the whole group is completely different than how it originally was, but the name is still the same. And like the fact that that the Kingdom has been able to stay strong is a testament to the bond that we truly have. The three of us, we came up together in the business. We were all trained under Spike Dudley. We're all from the same area. We travel together. We eat together. We move together. It's one of those things where this is my family. This is my brothers. And obviously there's times where you don't get along with family and, you have some disagreements with your closest friends and brothers. But our bond is something real that can't be broken, and is why we're have stuck together without a single moment of any trouble in paradise when it comes to the Kingdom, because this is a group and this is a bond that will last a lifetime. And it's why we're the best trio in the world, because we think as one, the three of us. And, the three of us all want us to succeed as much as humanly possible. Obviously, we're the six-man champions. The guys are firmly behind me in my match on Friday going into Vegas, and they have a big match as well against Lifeblood that I'll be watching, and then I'll be pulling for them as well. And that's because this is as real as it gets between the three of us.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right, thanks, Jason. Thanks. Next, Nick Hausman from Wrestling Inc. Go ahead, Nick.
Hi, Matt. Good to talk to you again. Thanks so much.
Long time. I feel like every time we do these calls, I've just spoken to you.
I'm not gonna lie. I just dropped our interview like 20 minutes ago. So after everybody's done with this, go listen to that too, please. But
yeah, please.
But Matt, I wanted to ask you. You were just talking about the Kingdom, your relationship with Vinny and TK. What are their plans for Friday night? Are they going to be in your corner? Have you told them to stay back? What's the details here?
I mean, I'm not going to go ahead and give away a full game plan. I mean, that's kind of foolish. But I think if you've ever seen the Kingdom in action, we're always not too far away from one another. And you know, as one of the media outlets named themselves Under the Mat, they should have named themselves Vinny's House, because that's, you know, Vinny, you always have to check under the ring with him. You never know what he might be up to. But the three of us, you know, we know each other's strengths and weaknesses. We know each other when we're out in the ring, or we can see from our facial reactions alone what we're thinking. And, you know, just like when you're watching your friend in a fight and you think he might need help, there's always a chance to slide in there and make sure your buddy gets the upper hand. So Jay Lethal would be foolish not to realize that the Kingdom's a unit and a strong one, and that when he steps in the ring with Matt Taven, he's stepping in the ring with an entire Kingdom.
Cool. Thanks so much for the time, Matt.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, Nick. Thank you very much. Next, Sean Rossap from Fightful.com. Go ahead, Sean. Sean?
Yeah, sorry about that. I had a question about the state of the Real World's Championship belt. Are you still in possession of that? What are you going to do with it despite its destroyed nature?
Well, the Real World Championship belt is still in my possession. It is my property. It was damaged by Jay Lethal, you know, but I'm a stand-up man, and I'm a guy who likes to settle things face-to-face, mano-a-mano, and, you know, probably unlike yourself, where you would probably press charges and make a big stink out of it, I'm going to go right to Jay Lethal and slap him in his mouth for what he did to the belt. But again, like I said earlier, you probably weren't paying attention, since you couldn't even pick up your call when it was time for your name to be called. I'm going to make that belt better than it's ever been, especially after Friday. I'll replace that piece of tin that Ring of Honor has been carrying around as their most prestigious title, and show them what is actually fit for a king. The real Ring of Honor title might be gone for right now, but it's definitely not gone forever.
Thanks, Matt.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks, Sean. And the final question for Matt, it's from Stu Myrick from The Horn in Austin. Go ahead, Stu.
Matt Taven, how are you, man?
Hey, Stu. Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you as well. So let's talk a little history. Assuming you do become victorious on Friday night, you will become only the second man to become a Ring of Honor's Grand Slam champion. The only other man being the fallen angel Christopher Daniels. What would that mean to you to cement your name in history, achieving something that only one other man has achieved?
Well, I really wish it was zero other men had achieved it. And, you know, Christopher Daniels, I almost mentally erase him from that list, because the conspiracy that was taking place against the Kingdom at the time, where we should have just still been the six-man tag titles, is when SCU captured the six-man belts. So to me, you know, that should have an asterisk on it at least. So to be the first ever guy to truly be the Grand Slam champion is just something that goes along with the legacy of Matt Taven. You know, being the first man to win the television title on his very first night, hold it for the longest reign ever to that point, being the first man to hold the NWA welterweight championship for CMLL, to only being the second man in history to hold a belt in New Japan, CMLL, and Ring of Honor. You know, these are things that I've accomplished time after time after time again, and it'd be fitting for Matt Taven to put his name on that list once again, because that's what I've done throughout my career. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that Matt Taven will be a Grand Slam champion in Ring of Honor, because to me, I already am. Now, if it takes Friday slapping around a Melvin like Jay Lethal for the record books to finally put it down, so be it. But you can just mark my words right now, there will be another notch on the belt of Matt Taven, another bullet point in the resume of Matt Taven when I become Grand Slam champion.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Stu. And thank you, Matt, for taking time out of your incredibly busy schedule to take some calls from our press friends.
You got it, Mark. And all you guys, all you Melvins there with your little notebooks out, you might as well just put down right now, skip the next guy, because this guy, Jay Lethal, who's coming up next, is nothing but lies. He's nothing but a poser. He's nothing but a fraud. So you don't even have to ask him a question. Unless you want to ask him about how great looking I am, then go right ahead.